We grow up with beautiful stories that the world is fair, that good guys always win, that hard work always pays off. Isn't it comforting to believe that life has justice, that all efforts will eventually balance themselves out? But one day, reality appeared and tore the curtain away. You start to realize the game isn't fair. Not everyone plays clean. Some people win not because they deserve to, but because they know the rules better. And sometimes, effort without clarity just wears you out. You give it your all, and you still lose. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have the power to control your mind, not external events. Realize this, and you will find power." That single line separates the weak from the dangerous, those who crumble under chaos, and those who rise above it. Because when you master your mind, no one can master you. You are no longer a puppet of your emotions. You are no longer a prey to manipulation. You begin to see people, systems, and motives for what they truly are. This video is not for the faint of heart. For those who dare to look life straight in the eye, no illusions, no self-pity, no fear. Because once you see the world as it is, and not as you wish it were, something powerful happens. You become untouchable. So today, let's explore 9 ruthless truths, the kind of wound that goes deep but sets you free. Lessons that make you dangerously smart, calm under pressure, sharp perception, and cannot be manipulated. Are you ready? Let's get started. 1. Emotions control, reason follows. We like to think of ourselves as rational creatures. We make decisions based on reason, analysis, and clear thinking. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Logic doesn't drive the car. Emotions, yes. Logic just acts shotgun and writes a cool press release afterward. You've probably seen this in others, and if we're honest, you've seen it in yourself too. We buy things we don't need, chase people who don't value us, and defend opinions we don't even believe in. All because of something inside us. Feel threatened, invisible, or desperate for attention. I once knew a man who swore he joined an expensive gym because of the science, the trainers, the equipment. But if you dig a little deeper, the truth comes out. He just went through a painful divorce. What he really wants isn't muscles. He wants to connect. He wanted to feel seen again. The workout plan is just a cover for a broken heart. The Stoics warned us about this over 2,000 years ago. They said, when you don't understand your emotions, you become a slave to them. And that's exactly what happened. You think you're being rational, but you're really just emotional and have a better vocabulary. So here is the challenge. Next time you feel anger rising, jealousy rising, or fear tightening in your chest, stop and ask yourself, how am I really feeling right now? What am I trying to protect? And when communicating with others, don't attack their logic. Talk to their emotions first. Speak, I understand why this is important to you. Acknowledge the fear before inviting them to explain. That is dangerous intelligence. It is not the power to control emotions, but the power to understand them, in yourself and in others. And extinguish the fire before it burns down the entire room. 2. Everyone act for their own interest. We like to believe in pure intentions. People help because they care. Kindness is selfless. Good deeds come with no strings attached. It's a comforting but also dangerous thought. Here is the reality. Everyone acts in their own self-interest. Sometimes that desire is noble, a desire to feel purposeful, to build something greater than themselves. Sometimes it's selfishness, driven by ego, greed, or fear. But no matter what, it's always there. I once knew a woman who was admired for her generosity. She organizes community events, remembers people's birthdays, always smiles, and is always giving. People call her a selfless person. But then I learned that she was secretly preparing to run for city council. Every act of kindness is also a movement. And you know what? But that doesn't make her fake. It makes her smarter, because she ties her personal ambitions to serving others. That is something most people never understand. Self-interest is not bad. It is human nature. Marcus Aurelius served Rome not only out of duty, but also out of his own honor. Seneca warned us, expecting people to act against their own interests is like fighting gravity. It makes no sense. So instead of asking, why are they so selfish? Ask, what do they really want here? Once you understand that, the frustration disappears. You don't take things personally anymore. You stop expecting holiness from people. And you start working with reality, not against reality. That is dangerous intelligence. See the hidden currents that drive human behavior, read the engine without bitterness, and find the overlap between their benefit and yours. Because when you can do that, you stop being manipulated and start becoming a master of alignment. Worse, won't they? 3. Most people can't tolerate the truth about themselves. This is one of the hardest pills to swallow. Most people can't handle the truth, not about the world, but about themselves. They build stories, they make excuses, they design their entire lives to protect an image they can live up to. Because the truth is heavy, and facing it means admitting, I am the problem. I once had a friend who constantly complained about being overlooked at work. He blamed politics, bias, even bad luck. But when I gently told him that maybe his tardiness, missed deadlines, and constant arguing had something to do with it, he got angry. You don't understand the situation, he said. And at that moment I saw, he doesn't want to know the truth. He wants to be comfortable. The Stoics called this self-deception the most dangerous prison, because the walls are invisible and built of pride. You cannot grow from what you refuse to acknowledge. You can't fix what you pretend isn't broken. Marcus Aurelius wrote every day, not to impress others, but to challenge himself. To ask, where am I weak? Where am I lying to myself? He knew that a man who faces his flaws is free, but one who denies them is trapped forever. So ask yourself, what truth are you avoiding right now? What feedback do you often dismiss too quickly? What reality are you uncomfortable facing? Because every time you choose illusion over honesty, you trade growth for comfort. You're still the same, safe but stagnant. But the moment you say, yes, it was me, I was wrong, something amazing happens. You get your power back. And that is what dangerous intelligence really is. The courage to look in the mirror, face the darkness without flinching, and grow stronger than before. 4. Your success will make other people uncomfortable. Weird, right? You work hard, you stay up late, you fight through every obstacle. And when you finally win, people start to shun you. The congratulations were polite, but their eyes told a different story. You can feel it, the quiet resentment, the subtle changes in tone in their voices. Suddenly, the people who used to cheer for you start whispering behind your back. Why? Because your success is like a mirror, and mirrors make people uncomfortable. When you rise, you reflect what others maybe used to be, but chose not to be, and not everyone can face that reflection. I once had a college friend who built a company from scratch. When he was in trouble, everyone supported him. When he had success, with magazine articles, big contracts, the tone changed overnight. It must be wonderful to have rich friends. I guess he got lucky. The same mouths that once praised him now try to tear him down. But he still hasn't changed. Their awareness was there. Marcus Aurelius understood this pain well. Even as emperor surrounded by power and wealth, he still faced jealousy from those closest to him. His reminder was simple. A happy life requires very little. It is all about you. Meaning, their poison is their burden, not yours. So when jealousy arises, and it will arise, don't shrink back to make others comfortable. Do not reduce the brightness, as it will hurt the child's eyes. Keep building. Keep shining. Let your work speak louder than their whispers. Because dangerous intelligence, it's not just about knowing how to win. That is knowing how. Keep calm when others project their insecurities onto you. It's realizing that their jealousy doesn't define your worth and everything about their limits. Stand up straight, be quiet, and let success speak for itself. 5. Everyone is selling you something. Once you start seeing it, you can't unsee it. Every conversation, every compliment, every smile is a transaction. Sometimes honest, sometimes hidden, but there is always a motive. Your coworker endorsed your idea at the meeting. Maybe he wants you to support his project next week. Your neighbor stops by with cookies. Maybe she needs your help later. Even the person you ask, "How are you?" may just be waiting for an opportunity to talk about themselves. It is not evil. It is human nature. I met an old acquaintance for coffee. We laughed, reminisced, and reminisced. For a moment, I felt so pure. Then, halfway through the conversation, she revealed that she was involved in a new business opportunity. Suddenly, every kind word became part of the sales pitch. Friendship is just a shell. The product is me. But I don't blame her, because that's the way the world works. In some way, We are all selling an idea, an image, a need for recognition, a version of ourselves that we hope others will buy. Marcus Aurelius lived among advisors and politicians, each with his own agenda. He trained his mind not only to listen from, but to feel the engine below them. That is real power. So don't assume everyone is capable of manipulation. Assume everyone has interests. Ask quietly, what do they really want here? And more importantly, what am I? I on sale now? That realization changes everything. Because once you see the hidden exchanges behind every smile and every story, you stop being a passive buyer in the marketplace and start becoming a conscious chooser. That is dangerous intelligence, the ability to calmly see through the field, to choose clearly and live your way, not theirs. 6. When someone shows you who they are, believe it immediately. People express themselves every day, not through grand speeches, but through small, forgettable moments. The way they treat the waiter. Will they keep their small promises? They talk about everyone when no one important is listening. You don't need special intuition to see it, just the courage to believe what you see. I once worked with a business partner who liked to exaggerate his role in meetings. He says we when he means I, and says I when he means us. At first I ignored it. Then there are the padded expense reports. Very small amount, nothing major. Again, I told myself, he's just excited, it's nothing. But years later I found out he had been negotiating behind my back, trying to get me out of the company. And the truth made me heartbroken. The warning signs are always present. I just don't want to believe them. Maya Angelou said it best. When someone shows you who they really are, believe them the first time. Stoics lived by that principle. Marcus Aurelius did not judge people by their words or apologies, but by their actions. Seneca warns, hoping someone will change their nature is a losing gamble. And here's the hard truth. If someone speaks ill of another, they will speak ill of you too. If they break small promises, they will break big promises. If they show disrespect when it costs them nothing, they will betray you when it costs them something. Trust the pattern, not the promise. Actions speak louder than words. Consistency, not explanation. That's what dangerous intelligence really means. See people clearly, without having to rewrite the story to fit your desires. Because when the evidence is clear, it's not your job to fix it. It is to adjust your boundaries and move accordingly. 7. Comfort is the enemy of development. Comfort brings a sense of security. It feels so warm. It whispers to you, stay here, you deserve it. And for a moment, you will feel peace. But gradually, comfort becomes a cage, soft on the inside, but strong enough to hold you hostage. I once knew a talented software engineer. He has the perfect environment, high salary, flexible working hours, flexible boss, no stress, no challenge. For 3 years, he lived that dream. But something subtle happened. His curiosity was appeased. New technologies began to overwhelm him. Conversations that once entertained him now bored him. He did not fail. He died rotten, not from struggle, but from ease. Then one day his company had to downsize. He was released, and the comfort that once felt safe was revealed to be a trap. Because when you never choose discomfort, you lose the strength to face it when it comes. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius could have drowned in luxury, but he chose the battlefield, discipline, and hardship of leadership. Seneca voluntarily endured discomfort, sleeping on the floor, eating bland food, to remind himself that he could endure. He knows, if you only practice in ease, you will collapse in difficulty. So ask yourself, where have you gotten too comfortable? What challenge are you avoiding because it is difficult? What pain are you postponing because it feels safer to wait? Every time you step into an uncomfortable situation, you sharpen your blade. Every time you accept something difficult, you become stronger, wiser, and freer. That is dangerous intelligence. It's not about avoiding pain, it's about deliberately choosing it. Because comfort kills silently, but struggle, when chosen wisely, makes you invincible. 8. You will die, and most worrying is meaningless. There is a truth we all know, but rarely face. You are going to die. Not someday in theory, but in practice. The number of beats your heart can make is limited. Your days are numbered, whether you count them or not. We spend too much time worrying about opinions, rumors, small failures, and things that won't even matter a year from now. But death has a way of cutting through all the noise. I once knew a man who spent his life obsessing over image, the perfect lawn, the perfect job title, the perfect reputation. Then the diagnosis was made: cancer. And at that moment, all the lies fell away. He no longer cares about appearances, no longer argues about meaningless things, no longer chases approval. He has started life. He forgives faster. He loves more deeply. Ironically, he was freer in death than most people were in life. The Stoics called this memento mori, remember death, not to be sick, but to focus. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What men should fear is not death, but never beginning to live." Seneca warns that wasting time is a crime for which you can never pay. So ask yourself, if you have a year left, what still matters? Do you continue to argue online? Do you continue to pursue approval? Do you keep waiting for the perfect moment that never comes? Dangerous intelligence, not afraid of death. The point is to use it as a compass. When you remember that nothing is certain, you stop living in a state of half-awakeness. You stop postponing love, peace, and purpose. You start eliminating the trivial and investing in the eternal. Because when you remember death, you finally remember to live. 9. Clarity is the ultimate power. The most dangerous mind is not the mind that knows everything. That is the one who knows exactly what matters. Clarity cuts through noise. It cuts through confusion, opinion, and manipulation. Most people wander through life reacting to things, chasing recognition, resisting distraction, running from silence. But a man who knows who he is, what he values, and what he is building cannot be shaken. You can't make him feel guilty. You can't tempt him. You can't control him. That is why clarity is so scary to those who don't have it, because it exposes their chaos. It shows them what they've been missing: direction, focus, purpose. I once asked a mentor how he was able to make every decision so calmly and confidently. He smiled and said, "Because I decided who I was before the world tried to tell me." That is clarity. Don't know all the answers, but know your compass. Marcus Aurelius practiced this every morning. He would remind himself of his principles before facing the chaos of the new day. Because when you know the direction, the storm loses its power. You stop wasting energy on all the distractions that are always lurking around. You will no longer be manipulated by trends, by fears, and by noise. Ask yourself right now, what do I stand for? What am I not free to do anymore? What is worth my peace and what is not? When you answer those questions honestly, you will become dangerously obvious. No emotion, no impulse, clear. And from that clarity comes freedom. Freedom from doubt, freedom from manipulation, free from the noise of the world. Because at the end of the day, the sharpest weapon is not anger or control or dominance. Of it, clarity, the kind that makes you unshakable, no worries, and it's completely free. If you have done this already, you have more insight than most people. Because most stop at the surface. They pursue comfort, attention, validation, but never true. You didn't click on this video by accident. Something in you is tired of the noise, tired of the manipulation, tired of the pettiness. You came here because a part of you knew. Life does not reward the loudest. It rewards most obvious. 9 cruel lessons. Each blade is a knife, cutting through illusion, weakness, and confusion. They are not easy to listen to. They have a burning effect. Because the truth always burns before it is purified. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Stop wasting your time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." That is the core of the problem. You don't need any more motivation. You need to choose clarity and live by it. Stop negotiating with your fears. Stop waiting for permission. Don't pretend you have forever. You don't need to. And that's what makes life beautiful. So when the world tries to blur your vision, when people try to sell you lies, when comfort whispers, stay safe. Remember this. You are here to see clearly, act wisely, and live with complete awareness. If this message finds you, share it with someone who needs it. And if it touches your soul, type 3 words in the comment section: "I choose clarity." And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let that be your public oath, that from today onwards, you will stop chasing the illusion of control and start mastering the only thing that ever mattered: your mind.